Hi kids, we're going to go over the scientific instruments page in your composition book, and we're going to go over the answers for the inside part about what all of these science tools are called and how they're used. So get your composition book and a pencil and correct any answers that you missed as we go through this together. Number 1, a tool for showing direction with a magnetic needle pointing north. That's this. Letter E is a compass. You put the E on the short line, and compass is spelled C-O-M-P-A-S-S. Number 2, a handheld lens used to increase the apparent size of an object seen through it. It makes things look bigger than they are. That's down here. This is letter R, and it is called a hand lens or magnifying glass. So for 2, we're going to put R on the line and write magnifying glass, which is spelled M-A-G-N-I-F-Y-I-N-G space G-L-A-S-S. If you want to put hand lens in parentheses after that, you can. A hand lens and a magnifying glass are the same thing. Number 3, a watch with a hand that can be stopped and started instantly for taking time measurements. That's M, which is a stopwatch. M, stopwatch. Stopwatch is spelled S-T-O-P-W-A-T-C-H. Please make corrections in your composition book as we go along if you have any wrong answers or misspellings. Number 4, a thin, transparent tube closed at one end used in chemical experiments. The thin, transparent tube is right here. This is G, and this is called a test tube. 4 is G, which is test tube. T-E-S-T-T-U-B-E. Number 5, a tool with a lever supported exactly in the middle, used for weighing or measuring mass. The one with the lever for weighing is O, right here. This is called a pan balance. Sometimes they have pans on here instead of just a tray. That is O, which is a pan balance. Number 6, plastic eyewear with side guards to protect the eyes. That's right here. You wear this on your eyes to protect them from chemicals or pieces of glass or anything that might splash. These are called safety goggles because they have the strap that goes around the back of the head. A science lab also might have safety glasses which sit on your ears like regular glasses. So C is safety goggles. Safety goggles is spelled S-A-F-E-T-Y-G-O-G-G-L-E-S. Number 7, a cone-shaped container with a flat bottom and a short straight neck for holding fluids. A cone-shaped container. This is the one that the bottom is cone-shaped, narrower at the top than it is at the bottom, and it has a short, straight neck for holding fluids. This is letter I, and it is called an Erlenmeyer flask. Erlenmeyer is the name of a scientist. That was letter I. Erlenmeyer flask begins with a capital E since Erlenmeyer is named for a scientist. E-R-L-E-N-M-E-Y-E-R. Erlenmeyer flask. F-L-A-S-K. And that's pronounced Erlenmeyer flask. Number 8, small pinchers for handling small or delicate objects. That's A. Those are sometimes called tweezers, sometimes called forceps. A, forceps, F-O-R-C-E-P-S. If you want to write tweezers in parentheses beside it, you may. Number 9, a device for measuring temperature, hot and cold, in degrees Celsius or Fahrenheit. For measuring temperature, we use one of these. It is called a thermometer, and it is letter T. Number 9, thermometer, T-H-E-R-M-O. Thermo is a prefix that means heat. Meter, M-E-T-E-R. And this word part, meter, means to measure. Number 10, a tool that uses gravity for measuring force, newtons, or mass, grams. The one that uses gravity is the one that you hang something from. The heavier the item is that you hang on the hook, the more it pulls down the spring for you to read the measurements on the tube. This is called a spring scale because it has a spring inside that tube. Q is spring scale. S-P-R-I-N-G S-C-A-L-E, spring scale. All right, next page, number 11. A flexible strip of plastic for measuring around curved or irregular surfaces. That is B, a measuring tape. Capital B, measuring tape. M-E-A-S-U-R-I-N-G, tape, T-A-P-E. Number 12, an instrument you look through with both eyes to make distant things seem nearer. Distant things is the clue here. We're looking at things that are far away, like the moon or stars. And you look at it with both eyes. So this would be J. It has two eyepieces there for you to look in with both of your eyes. And J is called binoculars. It begins with B-I, bi, which means two, because you look at it in it with two eyes. So J is binoculars. Binoculars is spelled B-I-N-O-C-U-L-A-R-S. The next one, number 13, a pipe with a gas flame used in science for heating chemicals. The pipe with a glass flame is this one. This is the only one that has any fire on it. There's the flame. And this is letter N. This is called a Bunsen burner. Bunsen burner. N is Bunsen burner. Bunsen is also capitalized because that is also named after a scientist. So Bunsen is capital B, U-N-S-E-N. Burner, B-U-R-N-E-R. That's an N. Number 14. A device for gripping and holding a test tube securely, for instance, over a flame. So this one is something for gripping and holding a test tube. Well, this is a test tube, so we need something that is going to hold the test tube. And that is right down here. The test tube is held in this little clamp part right here. So P is called a test tube clamp. P, test, T-E-S-T, tube, T-U-B-E, clamp, C-L-A-M-P. 15. An instrument with lenses for making very small objects look larger so they can be seen and studied. So the keywords here are very small objects, and it has more than one lens. That would be this one. L, you should know what this is called. This is a microscope. It has several lenses inside here, and you can put tiny things down here on this stage to make them look bigger. L, microscope. M-I-C-R-O-S-C-O-P-E. Micro is a word part which means tiny, and scope is a word part which means to look. So this means to look at something tiny. Number 16, a jar-like container with a lip for pouring and sometimes marks for measuring, usually marked in milliliters. A jar-like container. The jar-like container would be this one. F, this is called a beaker. F is beaker. B-E-A-K-E-R. All right, number 17. 17 is a small tube capped by a bulb at one end used to measure out a liquid in drops. A tube capped by a bulb, and it measures liquid in drops. Hopefully you know that one. That one is right here. That is K, and that is a dropper. Sometimes you put medicine in your eyes or your ears with a dropper because you're measuring small amounts of a liquid. So K is dropper. D-R-O-P-P-E-R. That's number 17. Number 18. A shallow, clear plate with sides and a lid used for testing or growing bacteria or other microorganisms. So basically, this is just a plate that you do experiments on, and that's right here. It's a little hard to see in this picture. You can see it better in the slideshow. D is a Petri dish. D, Petri dish. Petri dish is spelled P-E-T-R-I. Dish, D-I-S-H. And it has a lid. Number 19, a tube on a base marked with a series of degrees, lines, or numbers for measuring liquids, usually marked in milliliters. A tube on a base, that's this one right here. The tube on the base. This is called a graduated cylinder. Graduated cylinder, and it's not called graduated because it went to high school. It's called graduated because it has little markings or measurement lines going gradually up the side of it. That's why it's called a graduated cylinder. 19 is S, graduated, G-R-A-D-U-A-T-E-D. That's graduated. Cylinder, C-Y-L-I-N-D-E-R, graduated cylinder. Number 20, an instrument for making distant objects, like stars, appear or look closer and therefore larger. So now we're looking at distant objects again, but it doesn't say anything about two eyes. So we only have one tool left on the page that we haven't marked yet, and that's this one. Sometimes this instrument has a place to look in with two eyes, but most generally the smaller ones have only a place for you to look in with one eye. This is what you would use if you wanted to see the craters on the moon, or if you wanted to find Venus. This is called a telescope. H is telescope. T-E-L-E-S-C-O-P-E. And here we have that word part scope again, which means to look. So these are your answers you need to check and correct in your composition book. And then I would like you to make a video to show me that you have all of the correct answers written in your composition book, spelled correctly, written neatly, with the correct letters beside them. Then you can use the flashcards in the slides to practice the names of these.